There is a night millions of Iranians stay awake on purpose. Heaters on, fruits on the table, and laughter in the air. Why? Because this night isn't just a date on the calendar, it's the fight against darkness. A celebration and a tradition that has survived for more than 2,500 years. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into one of the oldest and most beloved celebrations in Iranian culture. A night where families stay awake, eat watermelon in the middle of the winter, read poetry, tease each other, dance, and basically refuse to let the darkness win. After this night, days start becoming a little longer, symbolizing the victory of light over darkness. The word Yalda comes from Syriac, meaning birth. Iran's ancient religions believed that on this night, the forces of darkness were the strongest. So people gathered together, lit fires, told stories, and kept each other awake until dawn, welcoming the rebirth of sun. Shab Chelle simply means the night of the 40th, marking the start of the first 40-day period of winter. Thousands of years ago, in the time of Achaemenids and Sassanids, Iranian families believed evil spirits roamed freely on this night. Staying awake meant protection. So they created a cultural shield: food, fire, poetry, and company. Over time, Yalda became less about fear and more about celebration, a symbol of family unity, hope, and resilience. The tradition survived empires, wars, migrations, and modern life, because Iranians are simply stubborn about keeping beautiful things alive. No matter where an Iranian lives, in Tabriz, Shiraz, Tehran, Toronto, or Sydney, if you ask them about Shab Chelle, they would immediately picture a table full of nuts, pomegranates, and watermelons. Just like Nowruz has Hafez, Yalda also has its own symbolic foods. Pomegranate, representing the cycle of life and the glow of dawn. Watermelon is a summer fruit, and it's the symbol of warmth. So when you bring watermelon to your winter table, you're basically bringing a piece of summer and warmth to fight the forces of darkness and cold. And then there is nuts and dry fruits just to keep the people busy. And of course some other fruits like persimmons, grapes, and winter fruits. Tea, sweets, and endless snacks. Iranians look at food the way poets look at metaphors. Everything has a meaning. The other tradition is reading Hafez or Fale Hafez, a classic tradition. Someone randomly opens a book of Hafez poetry and reads the first poem that appears. Everyone laughs, argues about the meaning, and pretends they understand the 14th century metaphors. It's part fortune-telling, part bonding, and part poetic chaos. Storytelling is also part of this night. Parents and grandparents tell stories from Shahnameh, ancient Iranian epic tales of heroes, dragons, demons, and impossible love. Staying awake is the whole point of fighting the longest night. Some people fight it with tea, some with gossip, and some with dancing. The whole night is about jokes, songs, and dancing. Yalda is all about being alive together. Uncles tell terrible jokes, cousins play music, sometimes traditional, sometimes loud enough for neighbors to complain, kids dance, teens take photos for Instagram, and adults pretend they aren't tired. It's like a small festival inside every home. You know, Yalda stays the same in spirit, but not in flavor. In Azerbaijan and Tabriz, they celebrate it with more nuts, dry mulberries, sometimes with ash on the side, and a lot of music. In Kurdistan, they do it with storytelling, and local songs are a big part of the night. In Shiraz, because it's the city of Hafez, poetry reading becomes almost competitive. In Mazandaran and Gilan, they mix it with regional food and seafood. In Kerman, pistachio is everywhere on the table. And in Tehran, families squeeze into apartments, but still manage to create magic. Yalda adapts to each region, but the heart of it, gathering light and warmth, never changes. You know, in a world moving faster every year, Yalda forces everyone to just slow down a little bit. And you know, just put the phones aside, sit together, tell stories, and laugh without checking the time. Yalda is a reminder that even the darkest night eventually gives way to light. Families come together, traditions come alive, and for a few hours, the cold world outside doesn't matter. If you've never experienced Yalda, maybe this year you should try staying awake a little bit longer. Light a candle, cut some pomegranate, and join millions celebrating warmth in the heart of winter. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Iranian culture, please subscribe for more videos about Iranian traditions, history, and everyday life. And Shab Yalda Mubarak.